Hello Internet, I'm HamsterBomb and welcome back to another figure review video, and this time we're taking a look at another awesome Metal Gear Solid model. This time we're going to be taking a look at Metal Gear Ray. This is awesome. For all you guys who were expecting, like, oh, I know they made a Ray as well as that Rex that Alex loves so much in that other video. If you guys haven't seen me review the Metal Gear Rex figure, I'm going to leave a link down in the description for that. And also, very recently I just finished painting said Metal Gear Solid Rex. Link is also down in the description. This is really awesome for this guy to show up right around nowish, because on the channel I actually just finished playing Metal Gear Solid 2, as a lot of you guys have watched, and it's been really amazing. It's kind of cool because I actually finished reviewing the Metal Gear Rex right after finishing Metal Gear Solid, which was pretty cool, and I got to announce the next Metal Gear playthrough. Which means I get to announce the next Metal Gear playthrough. Yes, guys, we're going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 3, but enough of that stuff. We have a lot to talk about with this Ray today. I was able to put this guy together, and he was actually much easier to assemble than Metal Gear Rex, which is fortunate for us. So, though there is, a lot of pluses compared to Rex from him, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, kind of bother me about the Ray. We're going to get into that all later, but as you guys know, I get into all the little extra stuff before we get into the big guy. And there is actually a lot of little extra stuff that comes with him. Before we even look at that, though, I do want to take a look at, actually I'm going to move him just for the time being, because we do have some extra things I do want to show you that you aren't seeing quite yet. Oh, this is just the model as it is assembled, no painting at all. This is no paint. I just finished putting it together. So, just so we get that out of the way, that is not including this sticker sheet that comes with the Ray with extra decals. There's some very detailed ones in there. I'm going to even zoom in so you can see some here. It's actually upside down, I'm sorry. But there's some really cool decals that come with him, and they all go in specific spots. You see they're numbered. Inside the pamphlet, which is right here, we can actually go through all those. I'm not going to on camera, but it's crisp and not even opened yet because I haven't gotten to do it yet. Well, there's a list of all the extra stuff. There's some cool paint jobs options down there. Should be in the back. I just said I wasn't going to do this, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go through them all to explain them. Yeah, here. So in the Rex, as it gives you like areas for where to paint the patterns, Ray actually shows you where to put the stickers. And I'm going to be doing that after I'm done painting. So because I kind of split the Rex up into two videos, one after it's done being assembled and let's look at everything, and then the second one when we're done painting and let's just look at how cool it is when it's finished, Ray is in a weird spot because I have to put those stickers on. So if you wanted to put yours together and just kind of put the stickers on it, it would look like this, just with the blue shapes all over it. It would look okay. Honestly, I'm not too big on his colors normally. Like I said when Rex was put together, I was like, I'm kind of cool with him looking like this. I didn't really want to mess with him. I'm glad I did, though. He looks amazing. But Ray, he's just alright. It's mainly this mustard color that is like kind of gross. It's supposed to be like a shiny gold or, something like that. Obviously, they can't do metallic looks like this. And the blues just kind of, he doesn't really look that. He's like a shiny marine color. Or, apparently with some other paint jobs I've seen, silver and gold. Maybe that happens in Metal Gear 4. I don't know yet. Don't spoil any of that for me, guys. We haven't played that yet. We're playing 3 next. So, anyway, just as we've seen from Metal Gear 2, you are going to notice that this is not the Ray from Metal Gear 2 because the tail is different. I know that there's a different build, technically, from Metal Gear Solid 4, and this is the Ray from Metal Gear 4. So, there's a bunch of other accessory stuff that we can get into, but before we do that, I want to show you guys the box. Alright guys, here's the box, just like we've seen from Metal Gear Rex. It's this super foily, really awesome looking box. It's amazing. This one, look-wise, is done vertically, not horizontally. You can still hear I stupidly kept the little pieces inside here. Unlike Rex, you're not going to have any extra parts left over. You will use every single one of them in here, so no need to be freaking out about missing things when you're done. Ray is much more symmetrical than Rex. I think that's why it's like that. But anyway, the box is really amazing. This one is obviously tall, unfortunately, not like the Rex, which was sideways. We are seeing some art from Metal Gear 4. Like I said, this is not the Ray. from Metal Gear Solid 2. This is actually from Metal Gear Solid 4, which is weird because the Rex actually says it is from Metal Gear Solid, and the boxes look so similar, so I find that kind of odd. But anyway, just to show you guys what this thing looks like, it's really cool. Kind of hard to see since it's so metallic, but there's a completed Rex, and there he is with his mouth open. We're going to have a talk about that later. Some more really cool art on the side, and some different posing. Here he is with his mouth open again, diving. There's an image of the decals. Him, I guess, docking, you could say. I've never seen a Ray like that, but there you go. There's an option, like I was saying, of the silver and gold paint. Interesting. And there's just another Ray. And also the other people. There will be more people that show up in this set as well. So that's pretty cool. We're going to take a look at them. And it's just, you know, nothing on the back of that. So, yeah, upside down all of a sudden. Anyway, let's get back to the main event. Let's take a look at Ray. And by Ray, I mean let's take a look at all the other little stuff first. Like I said, I always want to take a look at these first and not, you know, afterward, because usually people want to see the main event guide first. So I want to, this stuff's important too. I want to make sure people get to see it. Now, the little people I was talking about, you saw on the box that they looked like they were painted. They don't come painted. Just like in my Rex video, I was too impatient and painted my people before the video. So we're going to take a look at the painted people. Now, these people normally would come in a really ugly skin tone color. Honestly, I'm just going to grab this right here. I don't know why you actually need to see it, but it seriously is like the color of this rubber band that just kind of happened to be here. It's not skin tone. It's just a nasty looking brown, and you're going to want to get rid of it. It's just gross. So one by one, let's pop through these little guys in here. This one is going to come with several people. I'm actually going to use the zoom because I'm finding that it is better to view these guys as opposed to getting it close because the focus never wants to work. There we go, they're super close. This is going to be one of the guards from Metal Gear 4. Like I said, haven't even played it, so I don't even know how well I did. I went by some pictures I saw online to paint him, so there's that, you know. They're super tiny, super tiny. What I did was I decided, hey, what color are they on their base? So I lathered them all up, coated them in that first, then went through it with a second color, which was like, I think they were that greenish color first. Then I put the brown on second, a little dab of the silver, and then once I put the colors where I needed them, I went with a micron pen and drew all the little details on there with that little itty-bitty marker, and fortunately it dries on there, so he looks really cool. That is one of the guards. That one is a standing guard. We have a second one here that is a kneeling guard. There we are. He's basically identical, except he's kneeling. So I guess just to, I don't know, have an army of little SWAT soldier guys. It is cool, though, that we even get these because the Rex didn't even come with guards at all. It came with 2 gray foxes as opposed to Liquid and Solid Snake. Here we're going to take a look at another guard. This one actually, come on now, focus. This one actually is identical to the first one. So you really have to paint 2 of them. But, I mean, it's fine because I'm not too picky that they gave me 2 identical guards because they're just guards, seriously. And if one of them's got the variant, then I'm cool with it being different. Here we go. Here's some of the main characters we're going to be taking a look at here. Here is Liquid Ocelot. From what I understand, that is what he's called. So it is Liquid Snake, whose like arm is possessing Revolver Ocelot or something like that. I don't know. We gotta play Metal Gear 4 to find out. We're not there yet, guys. Everything that we wanted to see at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, guess what? We're gonna have to wait till Metal Gear 4 to find out, because Metal Gear 3 is a prequel, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. But we don't want to get into that too much. He was actually one of the harder ones to paint because of how detailed he actually is in some of these smaller places, like those itty bitty little stripes on the. Look how small that is. And like his shirt, he's got like straps going across. This little dab of paint inside of his glove. His legs, and he was actually a lot of fun to make, though. I mean, a lot of people will probably find this aggravating trying to paint something so small, but I find it like a really fun challenge. Plus, they look so nice now that they're finished. So there is Liquid Ocelot, and of course, you will get a Solid Snake. Or Old Snake, as I hear he is sometimes called, from Metal Gear 4. Hey, come on now. There we go. So, there is the itty-bitty Old Snake we've got. He's holding some sort of AK or rifle. I'm not sure. I haven't played the game yet, like I said. But anyway, so same deal as all the other guys. I picked a base color to coat him in first, and Ocelot, however, was an exception. Snake kind of was too because of how detailed they are. The bandana there really gave me troubles, I remember that one. But you coat it with the color that you want first, and then do the blacks second, and it looks really nice when you're finally done. It looks really cool. So those little people are out of the way, which means we can finally take a look at the other extra stuff that comes with him. Now, this is the part that kind of drives me insane. Oh yeah, by the way, really quick, these are the plastic things that the little characters come in. I cut them off the top and then use these as little bags to hold them because you'll lose them. And gosh, especially with how much time goes into them, you don't want to lose them. So one of the biggest problems I have with this Ray is the fact that he actually requires some disassembling and reassembling if you want to change his pose in some ways. So if you want to do the docking pose that we saw before, you actually need to take some parts off of the knees. Yeah, right here, I can feel them. Actually, I'm going to show you where they are. You see these little, that part right there? That would actually need to come off. And you would need to replace it with these two pieces so that you can use these with the little stands instead. Now, to me, that's just kind of a bad design. Like, I really wish that, like, there's room in there. I put it together, I know. Why didn't these go in the knees, and then, like, there's, like, a little thing I can grab to pull them out if I wanted to? You know, like, I don't know. So, because of that, more than likely, I'm never going to do that. Now, I have these extra parts just in case. I'm still going to paint them, but, you know, just in case, whatever. Now, before we get into the biggest complaint I have with him in terms of extra pieces, we have these two as well, which are alternate feet, as you can see right here. Just alternate feet that do not have pegs in the bottom. There are two little holes in the bottom of those feet. I'll probably show you in a minute when we take a look at Ray himself. But as far as I'm concerned, these are worthless because he needs those. I'm not making him stand on this because the bottom looks really sweet, which it does. These, I don't think you can get him to stand without that stand. It's hard enough to get him to stand with it. He's cooperating today. He's being really nice while I'm not fidgeting with him. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, those are worthless as well. Now, the biggest problem I have with him, and you can probably figure it out by the last thing that we saw on the box, opening his mouth. Okay, once again, this should have been worked in so that it could just happen. Like, if I shut it, it looks like this. If I open it up, it looks like with his mouth open. But no, you actually have to disassemble the face, replace this part. Okay? It looks almost identical to what is up there right now. I don't want to disassemble him right now because it's so much work. So, the main reason you want to do this is because there's a bunch of extra pieces that'll slide in here. This thing comes out, which I guess is one of the reasons that his mouth could not actually close back up again, because this one part is actually wider than his head, and when it comes out, it's really supposed to, like, fan out with two different little blade pieces that will then help support these two wave-looking things that are going to hold the mouth open. But then you look at them like, that's not right. Those don't look like they're finished. This is the worst part. You have to take some pieces out of what's inside of his head and reassemble them into this part and then put them back onto the head. So it's like, why didn't you just give me extras of the parts I needed so I could, like, keep these assembled and, like, switch heads if I really wanted to? It's, like, such a pain in the butt to do that. And, like, he looks really cool with his mouth open, like, shooting the lasers. But no, he's like, seriously a pain in the butt to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do about all that. But we finally got all that out of the way. We're going to take a look at Ray himself, who is really, really awesome. Like I said, fortunately, he was easier to put together. He had less pieces by far than the Rex, and that's mainly because his parts are so large. Now, he's really, really big, and like I said, kind of hard to stand. Unfortunately, since he doesn't have one of those bases that Rex had before, or a little cranny where you can hide something that'll help him stand up, yeah, he doesn't. Even if I wanted him to use the base that Rex has, he can't do that. He needs to use these things, and since we're talking about them, I should probably... let's save them for last, and let's go head to foot, like I normally do with my other stuff. We'll talk about them later, because right now I need to take advantage of the fact that he's even standing. So, looking at his head... Hey, camera. I guess that's okay. There we go. He actually if he was going to cooperate, he could try and stand like that. But anyway, look at his head. It looks really sleek, just like it does in the game. It's really nice. There's actually, this is a clear plastic piece right here. The head's got a lot of maneuverability. As you can see, it kind of moves all over. I'll just pull it right out for you there. It's on a ball joint that just goes in the head, and there go the feet. That didn't take much. They really just fall off. But since they just fell off and so did his face, let's take a look at these first. These, seriously, are just as simple as that. There's just a ball joint stuck in a little piece of plastic on the bottom. They look really neat, though. I like how they reference the pentagon shapes that appeared when people walked inside of the Arsenal gear in Metal Gear 2. Really cool. So, we'll look at the bottom of the feet to expose that stuff later. But anyway, that really is just a ball joint. There's nothing really special to it. There's pieces that will allow the jaw to move when you open it. But as of right now, I might as well mess with it just because I got it on me. Ah! See, this part really just falls off. It's not even really a joint. You can see that part just kind of sits in here. And this can move up and down. Yeah, it's really just for when it's open. I'm sorry, that's my text tone for all the Metal Gear fans who know exactly what that is and kind of want that for their text tone now. Go ahead, steal it, I don't care. The rest of the face, like I said, these things will pop out. Actually, you know, I should just at least show you what they look like so that you know how stupid this is. What you would need to do is pop out that little clear thing, or I'm sorry, not clear, that little beige thing, replace it with this one so that it has a different angle. I'm not kidding, you pop that thing out, put this one in, then you would take, see that seam right there? Those are two different pieces. You would take the outside one off and replace it with one of those. Identical looking part, almost. There's this little line thing on it now. That's the only difference. It's dumb. It's like really dumb how much extra work has to go into trying to put these, just opening his mouth. And it really disassembles more than that. Let's not waste our time doing into it. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are doing this like, no, but I would really want to open its mouth. I'm paying this much. I'm spending so much time, not wasting time, spending so much time building him. I want him to be able to open his mouth and look really awesome, like shooting a laser or something like that. Trust me, just pick one or the other and stick with it. You don't want to do both. So while his head is actually off, I'm going to show you because there's actually a second joint in here. This works very smoothly. This just goes up and down though, but since that is a ball joint, the side-to-side motions can really go about that far right here. He can twist his head. He can't really turn it, but he can twist it, which gives the illusion that he's, you know, moving his head. It's about as much as that ball joint really allows. So we can get a little of a up and down movement. If he goes all the way up, we can see here on the back, all those little parts do go together, which is pretty cool. They don't go together like super well to where they all lock in place. Like as you can see, the neck part doesn't really join. There's just some open areas, so whenever, I don't know how you can actually pose him like in the air swimming anyway, because his stand only allows him to stand up. So whatever. Kind of a shame because rays are made to be marine Metal Gear, so they're supposed to be able to swim, but unfortunately you can't do that with this guy. You know, really not that big of a deal. Like I said, with a model or something this large, you're going to want him to stand up and look really awesome anyway, unless you had a really cool, like, plastic stand that's clear, and you could probably get him to stand and balance on it like this. You could probably do that. It'd be pretty cool. So, moving down to his arms, I kind of have a bit of an issue with these right now until he's painted and I can put some more enamel in here and make these joints a little tighter. His arms will just sag right down. That one's taking a little bit longer than the other one, but they do. They just fall right back down. That one's being really stubborn too. So, unfortunately, you can't get Ray to stand normally, where he's got his arms more at like an angle like that. But he normally has his arms up. If you call these arms, I don't know what these things even function as. I don't even know what they're really supposed to do. Sometimes I feel like these are supposed to help it like hover in the air a bit, because it does that, and then it shoots bullets out at the tip. What a weird design for a, you know, giant fighting robot, you know? But I'm not going to complain about it. I love Metal Gear Ray, obviously, because I built one. So, anyway, I really hope these things get a little bit more sturdy when we do get around to the painting. The painting is probably going to be a lot easier on him than it is on Rex, because for the most part, everything looks really easy to get to, and there's not too many color variants compared to Rex, who had like a lot of details everywhere. So this will probably be easier. I do want to show, as obviously those are on ball joints, so they can move about this much. I'm going to move it like here so you can kind of see me rotate it. It's about as much movement as he gets out of there. These can obviously twist as well. I just had them at a certain area. This is also on a joint right there, so you can see that, so that they can bend down and do that docking pose like I showed you, though I don't want to do that because of this joint in the armpit, which is actually like one of the biggest pains about him too. As well. I'm making it sound like he's a terrible model, and he really isn't. He's great. He's probably going to get a lot better once he's painted because he'll get sturdier and he'll hold himself together a lot better. So a lot of the stuff will probably go away, but just in case you weren't planning on painting yours or you just want to see it unpainted, he's got some problems. So as in right here, this itty bitty thing, I really don't want to take it off because it's such a pain to get back on. This is stuck, not even with any joint at all. It's just kind of fits the same shape and clicks onto this little joint, which goes into another little thing which can hide into the armpit. I can pull it out a little bit there to expose it to show you what that is. It can go in, and then you can have troubles, kind of like Rex's thigh, where if it goes all the way in, you're screwed. Good luck trying to get it back out again. You're going to need like pliers or something to try and whittle it back out. And this is really loose underneath it. It's supposed to actually lock in place with that shape right there, and I have no idea how they managed to do that. I don't want to try, because the more you fiddle with it, this blue part falls off constantly. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen off yet. He's actually cooperating today. And I kind of like them holding under the way they are right here. It looks nice. Yeah, like it looks like he's got some extra details on him that he otherwise would not have had. So whatever, there's that. These things are really, really bulky, and will probably be really easy and fun to paint, and they really were super simple to put together, so there's that. Moving on to the stomach, it kind of moves similar to what we saw with the back, except not really. The only real joint we see in there is, you see right there, those middle chunks right there, it kind of comes apart after the 4 and then another 3. That's about it. They kind of separate just a little bit to help him bend even more if you wanted him to. So that's the kind of arch I just got on his back. It's pretty sweet how much he can bend over. He can look like straight down if you wanted to, or move all the way up to, those weren't going together, almost straight. So there's lots of joints in here. When you build him, you'll understand there's a lot of joints in there, but when he's actually put together, he's really sleek, and you kind of hide a lot of the hidden, inner stuff that goes on the inside of him that makes him work. So getting down here to his hips, he can do-si-do right here at the hip joint, a little bit side to side, mostly up and down, and that once again connects with more of that stuff on the back. Right there, that one really moves. It almost looks like there's rubber inside of him, how well this is put together. This is all plastic parts that you assemble, so it's really cool. The tail, which got drastically shortened from Metal Gear 2 to 4. Well, whatever. There we go. There you can see it was just on a little joint. I was just going to try and explain that to you. Whoop, let's put that back on. That was coming off there. And it just kind of wiggles like that. It really doesn't do anything. But it is there. I kind of wish it was the longer tail, just because, I don't know. I thought the tail was silly at first, and now that it's gone, I'm like, oh, but I wasn't serious. I liked it. I liked how silly it was. Now, moving from here to the hips. Sometimes his legs will fall off on me, so who knows, we might see some more pieces falling off. We really haven't seen too much fall apart yet. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I remember when I was doing this with Rex, he was just falling apart. So maybe, if anything, he is more sturdy than Rex is. He's on a pretty nice ball joint right here. The hip, for the most part, doesn't move at all, though. It's stuck in there pretty good. There's not even really much room for them to move. You really move everything at that joint right there instead. And it moves about that much side to side, and obviously, since it's a ball joint, can go anywhere all the way around. Now, from here, there's this weird, let's call it a knee joint. Actually, I'm going to take it out so you can see it. As you can see, it's not really in the knee where that connects. It's up in here in the center, and that's just how Ray's built. And what is in there is this thing, which can move all the way back and pretty far forward. And that is for the most part, all it does. But the thing is, when you put it in here, it, like, you'll have to start, like, visualizing that movement. That means it goes from here all the way to here. So it can do it. It can go all the way out there. Can't twist. I mean, like, you can't really... Yeah, you can't really twist at your knee at all. I kind of, like, had to move my own knee. Like, I can't do that, can I? No. So, anyway, that moves quite a lot, and it's pretty awesome. You can already see the same kind of joint is here inside of the, let's call that the ankle. I guess that would be the ankle. And he can crouch quite a bit. And I'm assuming that's how you get him to dock. Or did they dock him like that? I don't even know. How would you get it up? Like, I don't know. I don't understand how you would, like, relaunch after you docked a thing like that. But for the most part, that is it, really. Though we didn't really take a look at the bottoms here. Those were those ball joints that are standing him into that stand. You basically pop it onto those little balls on the blue base, and he will stand on them. Though it's very hard to get him to do that. The wider you put his legs apart, technically the wider those things are, and it's harder for him to actually cooperate and stand with them. So that's kind of a problem. He will fall a lot. It's just unfortunate. He's really being nice to me today on camera, which is great. Usually my figures like really hate me when I try and put them on camera, but Ray is being really good to me today. The problem that I've got with the feet right now is that they're really loose, and I think, once again, if I coated it more with some enamel, not more, when I finally get to paint him and coat him with that enamel paint, it's going to make that a little snugger, and he's going to stand much better, and I might be able to get some more dynamic poses like that out of him, where I can get his legs really far apart and his arms up in the air, and maybe, because I am going to be painting those extra parts, I will have him painted with his mouth open instead, though I kind of like it shut because he's so sleek. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Would you rather have your Ray with its mouth shut or open? I don't know how you would even end up doing this, but once again, I'm going to have you guys let me know down in the comments if you'd want to see my Ray when it's painted. How did that even happen? I went through this whole thing and you didn't fall apart until then. I didn't even touch your face and it just fell off. Anyway, let me know what you guys think if you want to see my Ray when it's painted. What kind of paint job do you think I should go for? That silver and gold look, or do you like the blue and gold, or any other kind of pattern that you might have seen online? Or let me know in the comments. So remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you on the next Metal Gear video. See you!